So I just picked up my first slab and I want to show you guys what it is. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I talk about comic books here. I buy them, I read them, I unbox them, I review them, all of the above, all for your viewing pleasure. And so I'm really excited today. I've got something really special right in front of me just off camera. You can't see it, but I'm going to show it to you. And you saw the thumbnail, you saw the title of the video, you know what's going on. So let's preface this, right? So when I got into the hobby, there were a few things that I said I was not going to do, right? The first of those things was, man, I was going to the comic shop and I would go pick up my weekly pull list. My weekly pull would be like $20, maybe $30 at the time. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I like that, right? But I would get in the line and there'd be people in front of me because I always went on Wednesdays. And there'd be people with like these huge stacks, going through these huge stacks like, okay, these are all the books that came out for me this week. And it's like, yo, that's crazy because you had a stack just as big last week and these are all different books. So I was like, I'm never gonna do that. Well, it's been done sometimes. The other thing I said I was never gonna do was get into these omnibus and oversized collections. You know, it's like, oh man, those books cost like $100 a piece, if not more. And as you can see, there's the shelf. Now, of course, I was able to get a lot of these books steeply discounted. Had gift cards. As a matter of fact, all three of those Batman books, the Grant Morrison titles, I had gift cards and I was able to use them on that. So, you know, a lot of my collection I didn't personally have to pay for, I guess. Well, I mean, you're still paying with gift cards, but still, right? So that was cool. But you know how it goes. You get one and then you got to get them all. And so you start paying eventually. And the last thing I was holding out on was, all right, I'm not going to get into these CGC graded books. I mean, it's like $100 at least for a single issue. You can't even read it. It's just in this plastic case. What are you going to do, right? And you always say you're never until you find the one for you. So let's flash back to about 5 months ago. I'm watching the Ultimate Comics live show, and they've got a first appearance of one of my favorite members of the Bat family. And it's relatively, you know, decent price. And, you know, they had the option to put things on layaway. I've never put anything on layaway before. So I was like, okay, well, I mean, if I pay this off over a few months, it'll be just like buying my regular comic book stash. Cool, I'm down. So I put the book on layaway, put my deposit down. I keep going back to the shop, paying a little bit, actually every week, until I forget that I have the book on layaway. Now, just recently, I got something else that I put on layaway. And the rule is you can only have one item on layaway at a time. And so when I signed up for this item, I'm like, all right, cool. I don't have anything on layaway. I go to the shop the next day and someone says, hey, by the way, you still have this on layaway. Now, granted, the price that I had on layaway had rivaled what I pay weekly for comic books nowadays. Back then, that wasn't the case. But it's like, okay, I've spent hundreds of dollars on comics since I put this one item on layaway. Why have I not picked this up? So I found out I still had it on layaway, and I was like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and drop the rest of this money. And I did. So I am super excited to show you what I have. This, my first ever slab. And I guess I should go ahead and unbag it now. So here it is. This is Batman issue 655, written by Grant Morrison, artwork by Andy Kubert, and this is the first appearance of Damian Wayne. Now, according to CGC, it's the first cameo appearance because he comes in on the last 2 pages of the story. I'm not going to get into the first cameo, first full, first cover. I do have Batman 657, which is Damian Wayne's first cover appearance. And I'm still on the hunt for issue 656, which is considered his first full appearance. And I'm probably going to try to get them all slabbed in a CGC 9.8. So this is CGC 9.8 white pages. And it's really cool. Now, this is, of course, my first slab, or, a slab is just slang for a comic that's been encapsulated in one of these protective cases and has been graded by an official company, whether it's CGC, CBCS, CBCS, and PGX. The most popular, of course, is CGC. So I'm looking at this book, and it's got really, really sharp corners. A 9.8 is like the second highest you could get. Well, not really. There's 9.8, which is near mint, and then there's 9.9, which is near mint plus, and 10.0, which is gem mint, or basically a perfect comic. So I'm glad I got this, and I'm glad I got this at a relatively inexpensive price. I think I paid $165 for this all in. But I've never had a 9.8 before, and so it's easy now to see what other comics I have that may qualify for a 9.8 if I were to send them in myself. I was really wary on sending books in, and then I'm getting them back in lower grades, but now that I have one, I can kind of compare it before I send stuff off. One thing I was not excited to see, but on the spine, you're not going to be able to see it, but there's, I don't know what you would call it, like kind of, you can see kind of tears on the spine, like spine stress, I believe is what it's called. And so the fact that it had all of that and was still able to be a 9.8, I'm like, there are a few books I've actually sold that I'm like, dang, I probably shouldn't have sold those. But it's okay. I'm going to buy some back and then go get them graded. But anyway, this is my first slab. It's probably not going to be my last. I've got some books I'm going to send off myself when I stop being cheap and actually buy the CGC membership. But yeah, this is the first appearance of Damien Wayne. Damien is my favorite Robin. He is the son of Bruce Wayne and Talia al Ghul. He is the current Robin, although if I remember seeing the covers on Teen Titans correctly, he's not Robin anymore. But I'm not reading Teen Titans, so I wouldn't know. And he hasn't come up in the latest Batman books. So there's that. But yeah, I love Damien. He's sarcastic. He's funny. He always wants to kill people. And he's young, right? Like having a young, kind of demented type character is just, it's great. It puts comedy there that was not there before. I enjoy it. I enjoy Damien just as much as I enjoy the animated series Alfred and all of his sarcasm. So, of course, Batman's my favorite character. This Batman cover by Andy Kubert is not bad at all. I really like the pose. I like all the little bats coming in formation here. So that's cool as well. But yeah, I'm super excited to have this first appearance in a CGC 9.8. I don't know where I'm going to display it right now, but like I said, we're working on getting a house. And so it'll definitely be on display in the new spot. But for now, that's probably a bad idea, but I'll put it right there for right now. So yeah, I'm super excited to have this Batman 655. Shout out to the Ultimate Comics crew. I promise they're not paying me to shout them out. Although you guys want to work out store credit or something, we can do that. We can talk. But that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If not, it's cool. You can buy what you like. Make sure you read what you buy, unless it's in a slab like that. You're not gonna be able to read that. And then make sure you're being kind to others, because kindness makes the world go round. And until next time, I'll see you. Peace.